when I say that you need to report judgments and explain them, it is not just, see, we report a lot of pointless stuff on a daily basis, right? Press conferences, official functions, inaugurations, foundation stone laying ceremonies. If I asked you what is the need to do these reports, I don't think there is much. Like, how does it matter if a foundation stone was laid? A bigger story is when the building is constructed and people move in, right? But it is not the same with court judgments. I think court judgments are important to report because why is it, do you think, the courts decide cases? Why does the court decide punishment or sentence someone to jail? Now, the Indian judicial system is not about punishing people, right? When someone gets sentenced, let's say 5 years, or gets sentenced to death by hanging, or 1 year, 2 years, whatever the sentence might be, fine, those are not to punish a person anymore. Like, we might think it is that, but it is more to serve as a deterrent. It is to tell the society that if you do this, this is the kind of price you will have to pay. And how will the society know what the consequences of doing something wrong are if we as media do not report a judgment? So I think that is the role that we play as journalists when we're reporting judgments, to do it as clearly and as properly as possible. That is a responsibility we have, because that is what the courts are there for. Courts are there to serve as a deterrent, to tell someone who plans to assault someone that if my newspaper had been reporting on a regular basis, if our courts had been on a regular basis convicting people for assault, and I was reporting it, then tomorrow when a youth is caught by, let's say, a politician and says, go and beat up that person, he'll say, sorry, are you willing to pay me compensation for 5 years? Because that is the number of years I could go in jail for, right? That is our job as journalists. When we're explaining judgments, why do we need to do it? We need to do it because, so that the society knows that this is what the court is doing. This is also because we keep hearing, right, fourth pillar of, what is it we are, journalists? The fourth pillar of democracy, yeah. The other one is judiciary, is one other pillar. Why we need to report on what the court is doing and convey to the people is that keeps the faith of the people in the judicial system alive. If the people know that the courts are doing a good job, they will trust the system. In our country, I think as journalists, and not just journalists, I think courts have also not done a great job. But as journalists, where we have failed is we've not been able to convey this message enough. And where do we see the best examples of this is when people take law into their own hands. Why is it that so many of us, if we get into a road accident, let's say, why do we think that it's better if we just beat up the other driver and I get some satisfaction out of it? Because I know he's never going to get penalized for it. The people know that if there is a rash driving case, the guy might get arrested, then the police will settle the whole case, it will never go to court, he will never get convicted. So if I'm never going to get justice, I will take justice whenever I get the chance. So to keep anarchy, right, we cannot have a system like that. We cannot have people just taking, look in our country, for instance, if they catch a thief, I hope you've never seen us have ever come across a situation where the locality has caught a burglar. Because they did not just catch the guy and hand him over to the police. The entire neighborhood comes and beats up that person. And the reason they beat up that person is not because they hate thieves. Most of us do a lot of stealing in our daily lives, right? It's not because of that. It's because they know that the system will fail them. This thief will never go to jail. We'll never get justice, so I'll take justice by taking revenge. But if we as journalists reported judgments properly, if we explain these things to the people properly, if we kept pressure on the judiciary to hear cases in time and decide quickly, we play a role along with the judiciary in keeping the society sober. And I think that is a big failing, I think, because if you look around in Sikkim, how often do you see court cases being reported? I mean, I don't see it much. I don't see it much. Hearings, not at all, unless it's political. Unless the person who's filed the case calls up the journalist and says, tomorrow is my hearing, come, and outside the High Court I'll give a press statement. That is not reporting court proceedings, that is reporting a personality. But court hearings,